Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? I've used a professional to help me perform my best in the cage. Now our show sponsor, BetterHelp, can help you perform better in life. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist in just 48 hours. This is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional therapy done securely online at your convenience from anywhere in the world. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network. You can log into your account at any time and send a message to your therapist. Plus, you can schedule weekly phone or video sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room again. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Visit BetterHelp.com/Chael and save 10% off your first month right now. Let's talk call-outs. You want to talk about what happened over the weekend? One of the biggest things to study from the weekend was not the right hand and it was not the guillotine choke. It was the call-outs, and we had two very different call-outs. Let's start with Fazayev. Now, I got to disclose to you guys, I'm a fan. I believe in this guy, Fazayev. When he fought Bobby Green, both those athletes' stock shot way up. Not to mention, Fazayev has a look. He has an interesting look. With his beard, he looks fantastic with his shirt off. His skills are great. His hands are dangerous, but his chin is just as good. I mean, Fazayev's a problem. And I'm not the only one that believes in him. Dana White believes in him. And I know Dana believes in him because Dana made him a co-main event. So Fazayev is getting what we call the push. What he does with the push will directly relate on his skills, but Fazayev has won everybody over, including the office. That's what the co-main event represents. So Fazayev, who wins the fight, then calls out Vince Vaughn. This represents Fazayev's second opportunity on a platform where he has called out a fight that he can't get. That's a fool's move. Generally, I would scold someone like that. There's something about Fazayev being a dork. And he is. He's a nerd, in my opinion, that I like because it's counterculture than what I see. What I see is a scary cage fighter who can whip some serious ass. So there's something about him coming out and being playful and being a nerd that works. I got to give him that. Calling out Vince Vaughn was a wasted opportunity. But if he would have called out somebody ranked, like if he would have said those, I want to rank the, I wouldn't even know who he just called out. Unless there's a person named ranked opponent, I want to know who he just called out. So it's not as though he did any worse than anybody else. This got covered on ESPN that he called out Vince Vaughn. I guess that's a win for Fazayev. I'm making a piece on it right now. I guess that's a win for Fazayev. And I will tell you guys, get ready to get used to this guy. He's just corny enough in conjunction with being a straight up badass. Fazayev is going places, and this isn't my opinion. I'm watching what's happening. He went from the main card to a co-main event. There's only one more elevation he could get. That's it. When you're co-main event, there's only one more step that you have to take in the sport, and all of a sudden you're headlining arenas. It's a big deal, and Fazayev's on this path, but let's juxtapose that with the next call-out we saw, which was Jose Aldo. I can't think of a bigger compliment that I could pay another person, or somebody, I put it in reverse and somebody said it about me and said I inspired them. That would really make me feel good, and I would understand I have an advocate there. That's a very positive thing. I inspire you. You admire me. My goodness. I'm inspired by Jose Aldo. What he's doing at this point in his life, changing his physiology, dropping down to 135 pounds. He's the most successful 145 pounder the world has ever seen. We are highly unlikely in our lifetimes, guys. You could be older than me or younger. I'll still make the claim to ever see somebody do what Jose's done, already in the past. Two-time champion, 11 years undefeated at 145 pounds. It's less than extremely. It's extremely to the exponential of 10. Unlikely to happen. Jose's now down at 135 pounds. He's one fight away from being in there for the belt. Now, that's according to Jose. I think we all agree with that, but that's according to Jose. And Jose would qualify to be in the discussion right now. Because it is not a foregone conclusion that Sterling and Aljo are next. It's not. Aljo's dealing with some stuff. He doesn't qualify to be stripped. I would fight that tooth and nail, by the way, if anybody tried to strip him. He does not qualify to be stripped. Nothing says that Jon has to wait around. It could be the first time ever we see the interim belt defended. It could be. It's not the hill that I want to die on. But I'm speaking to the fact that Jose Aldo could have laid out after the fight, rested on his laurels, had his glorious moment, and then waited. He could do that. It may not go the way he wants, but he would be one of those names. He didn't do that. There's only one other road, and he took that one. The other road is, and this is the hardest road to take. It is the hardest path to a championship, but it's a road, and you only have two. And that is to beat absolutely everybody else in the discussion, so now there is no discussion. And Jose Aldo calling out TJ Dillashaw, should he get that fight, which makes perfect sense to me. I'll predict for you he is going to get that fight, but it would end the discussion for both of them. TJ will not need to sit around with his fingers crossed and hope Dana White names him the number one contender if he beats Jose Aldo. He will be the number one contender. But the same is said for Jose, which is why he chose TJ. It's a very different call out than calling out Vince Vaughn and having a little fun, or Hezbollah and having a little bit of fun. It's a very serious call out. There is a lot on that. I want to make sure you guys understand this because Jose deserves this from us. Jose is one of those guys who really doesn't ever ask anything from us, the community. He needs us right now. He's not asking for it, but he still needs it. So if you feel like I do, and you feel maybe a little bit in debt to Jose Aldo, for all the great performances, for all the great heart, for all the great skill, for the changing of weight classes, for never staying down, always getting up, always moving forward, if you feel like I do that you owe him a little bit, give him this. Let's get him in there to TJ Dillashaw. I haven't spoke to TJ yet, but I know TJ real well. That's not going to be a problem. TJ's healed up. That's going to be no problem. Not to mention TJ's going to like the fact that's the number one contendership match. It's a different road. You got the path that I took. You got the path that Conor took. You got the Brock Lesnar path. We all went left, which is to build up, get the mandate of the masses, use politics in your favor, manipulate the media, have perception become your reality, and get opportunities fast. You have one other road. There's no third. There's no helicopters. There's no subways. There's the other road, which is you beat everybody else that could ever argue that they should get the opportunity. That's what Jose's choosing to do. Guys, let's help him get the fight with TJ.